Good morning, everyone. It's about 9:30 on Wednesday, the 28th of July, and you should get this in your inbox on Saturday morning, the 31st of July. And clearly on the market timing, I'm going to talk about lots could have changed and will have changed. First thing that I have to do, folks, is to put up the disclaimer. Many of you will have seen this 1,000 times before. As you know, I'm not allowed to give one-on-one financial advice because I haven't done a long and a detailed fact find with you. And although today I'll be talking about some shares I own myself, I have to make it very clear that although those shares are suitable for me, they may not be suitable for you. So with that said, we can move with a clear head, clear heart into the program itself. And we have a mixed situation, folks, on the trends on both the UK and the American market. So we've got the short-term trend is up, the underlying trend is up just, MTI is above 1.05, but the longest term measure of the trend or confirmed signal is down and has been down since the 19th of July. You can see there it turned down on Monday the 19th of July. Color guard or the traffic light not looking good, and the advice is to sit in your hands and do nothing. The medium-term market timing system, the DEW, is in fact not shown on the front page of VectorVest, and it is up as well. So we've got three measures of the trend up, the longest term measure down, and clearly the breadth has moved down below 1, which is not good. Let's have a look at the composite itself. That's the composite over the last year. There's the confirmed up that we got on the 11th of November. And that's the confirmed down that we got a few days ago. As you can see, the market rallied very strongly in that push up last week, but stopped yesterday. And those of you that are familiar with my work will see the 78% retracement that invariably stops this thing in its tracks. So it needs to get up and close above that level. Maybe it will have done that before you actually watch this video. Okay, so before long-term investors take any more positions, then we would want a confirmed up in place. However, in the worry-free stocks, I don't think any of them have come anywhere close to their stop loss in this little bit of a sell-off. So there's been nothing to do. So let me go to a subject that's very close to my heart. When I was presenting in Stan Heller's international user group last year, about October, I said that the commodity stocks were going to be the new bond market, and by that I meant that if you want income, I think that income is going to come quite easily from commodity stocks over the next 2 to 3 years, and so far that's been a good call. I saw some reports from a large bank yesterday where they said that the only two sectors that are the only sector that's actually producing free cash flow at the moment were gold and commodity stocks. So gold and commodity stocks at these prices producing a great deal of cash. As you know, I'm sweating on 2 gold stocks, but that's the name of the game. This is copper, folks, and this is COPA, which is an exchange-traded fund that in fact follows the copper price. And I got very excited about this last weekend. I always look at weekly charts, and as you can see, the trend has been up for quite a long time, and I got excited about the market somewhere about September, October last year. And it's moved up very strongly indeed, and made some very good money along the way. Last weekend it charted an last week it charted an outside week right on support here, and then very promptly gapped up on Monday. Now on Tuesday it pulled back a little bit because you've read, I'm sure, about the angst in China, and clearly angst in China, a great deal of copper goes to China. So this chart looks good to me. It looks as if this wants to move up very strongly. I don't know what's going to happen next, folks, but it looks to me as if this wants to take out this high, and I'm looking forward to a really good move. Now what am I looking at? Well, I have them charted here. BlackRock World Mining is my biggest position in this market. We bought into it, if you remember, and that was Rob from Oxford's suggestion down here at that £4 level. I added to it, I think, here. And as I said on Monday afternoon, if I see a convincing break of this downsloping trend line, I'm going to add to it again. I thought we were going to get that yesterday, but it's pulled back to kiss the trend line. So I've got quite a large position for me in BlackRock World Mining Trust. It's pretty much the only investment trust that I own. It's got all the usual suspects in there. So you've got all the usual suspects in the one place. Anglo, BHP should do very well. Not so much out of copper, but out of nickel. As you know, one of the biggest barriers to electric vehicles is not lithium. It's actually most of the batteries made out of nickel, and there's a shortage of nickel. And Tesla and BHP are working on a large supply deal for nickel. So the whole commodity market, very exciting indeed. This is Italia Mining, maybe not one of my better ones. Well in the money in this share, and then unfortunately got stopped out in that pullback. As you can see, it hit its stop loss, and I had no choice but to get out. Clearly a microsecond after I got out, it bounced. And I shall get back in again. I would like to see it break above this last little high. So if I see it making a rising bottom and coming up above that little high, then and VectorVest goes into a buy recommendation, then I would be interested in getting back into that. I haven't done that yet. Now this is a share that I've never owned. This is one of the largest copper miners in the world. It's not listed on the South African market, so that's where I cut my teeth, as you know. The last range, I'll leave the Elliott wave people to try and make some sense out of that. I can't. You can fiddle it, I suppose, but it doesn't make a great deal of sense to me. This market has pulled back, and it stopped and made a double bottom at the 62% retracement, which is exactly where I would expect it to make some support come in, and it's come up very nicely. Again, I would like to, it's on a hold on VectorVest. Look at this. I'd like to see it make a rising bottom here. As you can see, my moving averages are still pointing down, so any trade would be very contrarian. There's the what I call the bow tie, where all the moving averages come together. I'm using 21, 55 and 89, and if you've got patience, that would be a great place to wait. They turn quite quickly. For more aggressive traders, if you see it making a rising bottom, going on to a VectorVest buy recommendation, that would be a good place to get on board. This is a quality stock, printing money at the moment. So the VectorVest valuation 17, it's trading at 14. And as you can see, very solid earnings per share over the last year. Earnings per share has gone from 40 pence to 80 pence. That's the sort of money that these companies are making at the moment, and they're all paying a huge dividend yield as well. Okay, so as I say, the commodity market over the next few years, I feel, will be the new bond market. Now the last one is for aggressive investors only. And it's a company that is not making any money, and that's it. Phoenix Copper. It's based in the US. These are old mines that have been worked in the past, and if you can believe half of what the management say, this is going to be a huge opportunity. As you can see, it's trading at 56 pence. VectorVest value it at 13. That's because all the copper's in the ground. Now, there's some very good reports coming out of the mine over the last week or two. And as you can see, this is precipitated. This is a weekly chart, so the weekly trends are up. A very healthy volume here. As you can see, this rising on rising volume, then it pulls back for a day or two, the volume dries up, and then we get this big outside week on rising volume, and it seems to have broken up yesterday very strongly indeed out of this neckline from this inverted head and shoulders reversal. So for those of you that would consider yourself adventurous investors, then Phoenix Copper looks like a strong opportunity in an unproven mine. Lots and lots of things can go wrong in a startup mining operation. I assure you, a very good friend of mine died a couple of years ago in South Africa, who financed many small mines all over Africa. And he used to say that never wreck a good mining project by digging a hole in the ground. What he meant was that all looks so wonderful on paper, but as soon as you actually go down there, lots and lots of things can happen. So for adventurous investors only, and the stop loss needs to clearly be a long way away. It's trading at 56, and sure as shooting on a bad day it'll go down and run the stops under 39. So I think the stop needs to be somewhere down around here at 30. So size your positions for that sort of size of a stop. The VectorVest stop is at 47. I think that's going to be far too close, folks. Far too close. You can see the stop is right in there, and my stomach tells me that on a bad day it'll whip down and nail all the liquidity. Just remember, stops in this system represent liquidity for somebody fairly smart to get in. So I think that stop loss needs to be well out of the traffic so that you can sit pretty in that. So not for everybody. So let's keep our eye on the copper price itself. Let's keep our eye on ructions in China, but I think that the probability of a strong move up in copper over the next 2 to 3 months looks highly probable. So Monday afternoon, 1:30, same time, same place. Hopefully this week the email invitations will go out. Last week there was a problem in the system. My utmost apologies for that. I've done my best to make sure that won't happen again. Have a great weekend, folks. Bye bye.